Oh, man. I don't know if this is going to come out. It is super windy, so we'll see. Okay, let's play this in a sec. All right, stop. All right, I think it's good enough. So time is thought of usually as a straight line, let's just say. Um, and we could also think of it as a circle. Some people think of it as a hat, or think of it, um, yeah, a straight line or curved. Doesn't matter, I suppose. And whether it's linear at a starting point and an end point, or if it's circular in that it's a cyclical thing, that doesn't matter for this. Um, the point is that time flows in a direction, and whether that the actions of that direction, the things that take place, are I guess fated, sure to be. You know, if somebody's like things are going to happen, and whether those be milestone events, maybe not every little thing, things are going to happen along the way, and there's no deviation from that. Then you get into like alternate timelines and reality and stuff, alternate realities, uh, because, well, what if at those things that are bound to happen, what if they weren't bound to happen? What if there was a choice to be made, one or more choices, or two or more, two or more options, as opposed to it's just going to happen. So then you get into alternate, um, and then the extension, and it turns into, if you're in a straight line, it turns into um, just branching that goes off, and maybe they intersect, or maybe they remain linear. Um, but in any case, and then if you have the curved one, then you get more of you get multiple intersections at that point. Then you run into, all right, well, what happens if there's an intersection, and how many intersections are there, and all that. So what does happen if there's an intersection? Because if there's a branch that is an intersection, well, is a branch an intersection? I guess is the first question asked. So if I'm approaching a branch, well, no, if I'm approaching an intersection. But if I can only go in one way, then it's a branch. If I can go in multiple ways, then it's an intersection. So in a linear way, okay, yeah. So if there's only two options in a linear way, then huh, no, it still has to do with the direction. Because if I'm going one way and I only assume that I can go that way, then it has to be a branch. Why? Because an intersection, an intersection is the joining of multiple sections. There's a branch and an intersection, the same thing. This is just semantics. I think it is. So let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about the name, whether it's a branch or an intersection. I don't think it. I think they are like the same thing, but not the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's a distraction. So anyway, in those situations, and then like I was saying, if you do the straight line branching and you're going at the same angles, then you shouldn't intersect ever. Like you as long as you went at the same angles. And if there were only, well, no, that's not true. Well, no, you would intersect eventually, or you could intersect. I don't know. I don't know math that well. I'd have to visualize this. I'm walking and talking right now, so It's all in my head. So anyway, but then if you have the arcing, the curved lines, then you have intersections more frequently, and they're all over the place. And actually, you get intersections behind your point. So if you're always moving forward, you end up at an intersection. Uh, then you could end up at the well, shoot, you would end up either in the past if the arced backwards, or you would end up in the future, the arc forward. Um, and you'd have, I guess you'd have a choice every time, and it's a different path to get back to the past, and you're skipping over, or you're going a different path to get to the future, but you just never see that. But you're always going to get either to the past or to the present. So then it turns into like a 50-50. Like every decision's a 50-50. You may as well just flip a coin. Um, if you're looking at moving forward, if we think of this the future as being the goal, but maybe we do want to go back to the past so that we can. Would we relive? Well, I guess we'd relive, but we'd have the option. We could change all of that because all of that stuff's not destined to be. We already said that the milestones are the things that are destined to be. So everything uh, in between, you can do whatever you want, but you're still going to hit that milestone, and then you're going to have that decision again. So you can go back to the past and do it all again, or you can go move on to the future, one way or another way. And I suppose you could move to the past in one way or another way as well. You have multiple choices there too. Um, and that gets very, very complicated. And that's a messy world. I don't know. I mean, it's fun. It's like Groundhog Day, I guess, where you keep going back and reliving, however you want to do it. And I guess the inevitable in Groundhog Day, like the milestone moment, is death. And in this case, it's just life. The inevitable moment is whatever. Excuse me. Whatever happens, whatever that is, the turning point. And that's interesting. So maybe Groundhog Day is explained by that. That 50% thing. So if you're flipping a coin over and over again, the universe is flipping a coin. Maybe the character in Groundhog Day and all of those other movies that are like Groundhog Day. Um, I think that was like based on a book, not based on a book, but inspired by a book or story. But in any case, the story of that is what I'm talking about. That you have to flip of a coin, and we all experience that flip really well until we don't. And uh, yeah, and when we don't, then things like Groundhog Day happen. And maybe that's kind of like deja vu. Maybe that's what it is. The universe is flipping a coin, and we're at that, or we've hit that catalyst or whatever at some point. And when we walk by something, that's that. That's a timeline. I mean, we're on the timeline. So we're just doing it again. We're recognizing the things that we recognized from before. Maybe, I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway, going on to my next point. The next, like what my idea is then after the linear approach, the straight line approach, and the curved line approach is the infinity symbol. So the infinity symbol is a common symbol, uh, and I don't know its history, but I know it's a popular symbol. I believe it's been around for infinity. That's me joking around. So if you think of that in terms of time, then that center point becomes like the intersection. It is the intersection, and it keeps it clean. and it keeps it novel. So you can go, because you have more than two options. You've got what, three three options, and oh, that's interesting because three is one of those like sacred numbers and stuff. So yeah, that's, well, is it three? Yeah. So you're starting, and you go one way, two ways, three ways, four ways. So you choose one way, and you hit, yeah, and then you go one way, two way, three way to get back to the center. Yeah, so three. You got three choices every time. And so three is a sacred number, if you're into that kind of thing. And that was just like the universal thing. And then so, and because you're just, I mean, it's the same idea of the curved timeline where we're intersecting either into the past or into the future, but we're, we're able, it's an ordered approach. Like, we know it's always going to be the same. It's a different, it's going to be the same line, kind of, sort of. And then actually, do you run those lines in different directions? So go out, yeah, yeah. So then, yeah, you're running back in time. So you do have the opportunity to go back in time on the same timeline and forward in time, which is something that you don't have the opportunity to do in the, any of the other things. Because you can never go back in time on the straight line. Um, if your intention is to always go forward, and then with the infinity, you're actually always going forward, like, or you're always going backward. It doesn't matter. Like, it's a balance. Very very, it's an infinite process of forward and back. It's a cycle. Huh, that's cool. Um, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say on that right now. I'm gonna draw it up a bit. Um, but yeah.